So the photographers will be over the stage. Yeah. No, just there. Yeah, yeah. Stand up, please, for you. Okay, everyone. One, two, three. Cheese. Everyone. One, two, three. Okay, once more. Give a round of applause for Mr. Matt Downing. Okay, before we dive into the main sessions, I have a fun announcement, especially for the social media enthusiasts in the room. We're running a social media challenge throughout today's pre-departure briefing, and yes, there are prizes involved. How? Here is how. So, you can take a creative photo or video during the event. It can be during a session, or maybe your vision board, your UK outfit of the day, or even your interaction with a speaker. Post it on your Instagram feed or stories. Use hashtag StudyUK, hashtag StudyUK pre-departure briefing, and tag us on ID British, StudyUK underscore British Council. We'll be monitoring your post in real time and we'll announce two winners. The first winner will be announced before the break, and the second winner will be announced before the closing. Each winner will receive a shopping voucher and will display the winning post right here on the screen. So get creative and show us your Study UK vibes. And now, so let's break the ice a bit. Before we dive into the briefings, now we're going to test your knowledge and imaginations through a fun interactive quiz called Pack and Prepare Challenge. Basically, we'll throw some scenarios your way and tell us, do you pack it, leave it, or maybe buy it in the UK? You ready? Okay? For the first item, but don't worry, it's not be graded, so you must be very anxious right now, but don't worry about it, okay? The first item is heavy coat. What do you think? Buy it in the UK. Why? Can I know your name? May I know your name?
Okay. Hello, my name is Ria. Oh, for the winter coat, I think we must buy in the United Kingdom because, yeah, it's the cost really expensive, and I think there is no specific coat in Indonesia.
Okay. Do you agree? So buy it in the UK. Okay, buy it in the UK then. Thank you so much. Okay, can you move forward to get a souvenir from us? Okay. It's not about correct or not. Yeah. Yeah, you can have a suggestion. Yeah. Thank you so much. You might go back to your seat. Okay. The next question, the next item. Instant noodle. From the right side, okay. What do you say? Pack it, leave it, or buy it in the UK? They honestly have it in the UK, but what do you say? Pack it? Pack it. Why? Okay. Pack it then. The next item is rice cooker. It's kind of tricky, right? It's like, I might need it, or can I just cook my rice on the pan, right? Rice cooker? Any idea? Yeah?
I think we should buy it in when we are in UK. Yeah, because I think when we bring the rice cooker from our country, it's just like struggling.
You don't really eat rice, so it might be expensive to buy it there. What do you say?
Yeah, it's okay. I believe some accommodation maybe provide some rice cooker.
Thank you so much. Maybe, yeah. Thank you. Okay. So, buy it in the UK, please. The next one is sambal. Ayo, mana sambal mania mungkin yang nggak bisa hidup tanpa sambal? Kira-kira pack it, leave it, or buy it? Leave it? Wow. Ada yang garis keras sambal nggak nih? Wah nggak ada, hebat. So, should we leave it? Leave it, okay. Interesting. The next one is plug adapter. Nah, they might have different, plug adapter from Indonesia. Okay, gimana Mas?
Maybe we must bake it because in Indonesian we don't have Indonesian plug is not they're different from UK and United States.
Okay, so pack it.
A packet.
Let's bring it. Okay, thank you. The next one is traditional oils. What is that? Traditional oils. I don't remember they have it or not in the UK, but definitely pack it, right? Yeah, okay. And the last one, I'm so nervous to say this because the last item is boyfriend or girlfriend. What do you say? Just bring it to the airport or leave it? Buy it in the UK? Any idea? Oh, come on. Please, anything. We'll give you something. Come on, the bravest one. This is the last one, so yeah, nice. Okay. You may stand up, please. Yeah.
Well, I think we should leave him or her because we want to focus on our study.
Oh, that's very cool. Yeah. Good point. All right, so I'm so sorry. Leave him. Okay, that's all for our pack and prepare challenge. And now that you've got a taste of what to pack, let's talk about what to expect. Let's move to Study UK Essentials for tips, support, and what to expect. To give you an overview of what it means to study in the UK and how to navigate those first few weeks, I'd like to invite Miss Gita Gowinda, Senior Marketing Manager for Study UK at the British Council.
Hello everyone, good afternoon, selamat siang. Apa kabar? I'm so excited here because I'm seeing all of you choose UK as your study destination. Let me introduce myself. So my name is Gita Gowinda. I'm also UK alumni as well. So 7 years ago, I studied in the UK with a Chevening scholarship. I studied MBA, Media Management at Cardiff University. So I'm really excited to see all of you to also study in the UK because I had a wonderful experience as well when I was studying in the UK. So let's start to take a look at what should we prepare in our Study UK pre-departure briefing. So this is what we'll cover today. I'll tell you about UK and then before you leave home and then traveling and arriving in the UK and also of course living and studying in the UK and also to look after yourself. So as you know, UK is the home of English language and if you want to, learn more English and make you more fluent. Of course, English is a good destination to study, of course. And one of the most popular study destination international students, including Indonesians as well. So yearly, we have around 4,000 Indonesian students to go study in the UK. And also, in terms of the safety and then the culture as well, it has a great cultural events, has many wonderful experience when I studied in the UK as well. And of course, it's a place to make memories that will last a lifetime. So as you know, UK consists of 4 nations, right? So as you know, if you come to our event, there are several flags, not only UK flags, but also there are England, Northern Ireland, Scotland, and also Wales. So those 4 parts of in UK. If I mentioned Cardiff at that time, so it was in Wales. Yeah. So it's the capital city of Wales is Cardiff, and also there are other nations, which is England, Northern Ireland, Scotland, and also Wales. Maybe I want to know, any of you study in England? Okay, okay, in England. And Northern Ireland, maybe? Any of you going to Northern Ireland? Wales? Or Scotland? Okay, I see. Okay, okay, thank you. Yeah, so yeah, you can explore UK as a study destination. You can travel around, and you know, a lot of many beautiful places in the UK, of course. And the capital city, as I mentioned, London is capital city of England, and then Edinburgh is Scotland, and also Belfast, Northern Ireland, and Cardiff, as I mentioned before, in Wales. So in the UK, the main language spoken is not only English, but also Scots, Scottish Gaelic, Irish, and also Welsh as well. As you know, the currency of the UK is pound sterling or GBP. So UK have a 70 million population. How many percent of Indonesian population? Okay, so in the UK, we have almost 70 million population with the highest population, which is located in England, which is around 70, 80%, which is 57 million England population. Okay. As you know, UK is a place to welcome everyone, based on my experience as well, and also, of course, my friends in the UK who studied in the UK. Is a very tolerant country. All ways of life are respected as well, and against the discrimination, and also the support as well from the UK University is really, really supportive in terms of, you know, the student religious and also cultural needs as well of the students. So before you leave home, of course, you need to prepare visa, but I will not mention or explain much about the visa, because after my session, there will be from Chris from the UKVI to explain you about the visa details. So we have this, before you live and study in the UK, so we have this online course. You can search futurelearn.com. You can see a complete across 4 weeks preparation before you study in the UK. You can learn about UK higher education, about teaching methods, and then the structure and also assessment as well. And maybe you can get tips of studying in the UK, English language as well. So maybe you can check futurelearn.com/courses/prepare to study UK if you want to take a look and then prepare more about your study in the UK. So these are the checklists. So maybe before there are several things about pack it, leave it, or buy it. So this is a checklist that are things to arrange you before you leave home, before you leave Indonesia, for example. So you have visa and passport, of course, and then your flight to the UK. Accommodations, there are several accommodations in the UK, which is university, private accommodation. It depends on your preference as well. And travel insurance is also important, medical insurance as well. And also, because you study in the UK, go to the UK to study, so you have an offer letter, or known as a confirmation for study or CHAS. And you have to make sure to have a contact telephone number, for example, with your contact in the university, for example, to answer you, to support you if you need any help. Okay, so in this case, I will mention about what to pack in main luggage, and then what to pack in your carry-on luggage, and also what not to pack in your luggage. So this is what to pack in your main luggage. So in the UK, as you know, there are 4 seasons, right? It's different with Indonesia, which is we have like summer and then raining session. In the UK, they have autumn, winter, spring, and also summer. So right now, it's July, so it's quite hot in the UK, I think. Yeah, it's summer session, so it's the warmest session in the UK. So around June until August, but maybe you will go to the UK around September or October, right, to start your study in the UK. So it will be autumn to start the season in the UK. So it can be a bit mild and also dry or a bit windy as well for the temperature, but it's not too hot like summer right now. Okay, so you may check what you need, for example, in terms of the weather as well in the UK, because they have 4 sessions in the UK. Okay, what to pack in your carry-on luggage? For example, you need to have passport, visa, travel tickets, and also your departure details, just also, and then the accommodation details, and also confirmation of your medical insurance, and bank draft or information about your bank accounts, and the contact detail as well if you need to contact university or any institution, and information about your airport or train station to pick up. Usually, my experience when I studied in the UK as well, I arrived at Heathrow at London, and the university actually picked me up from the airport. So university support is really, really meaningful as well for me to study in the UK. And what not to pack? So of course, what not to pack is banned item or restricted item. For example, yeah, drugs, weapons, and other materials, pepper spray, and counterfeit goods, for example. And then restricted foods, like for example, like meats, or maybe you wanna any durian lovers here? Yeah, unfortunately, yeah, you cannot pack durian. I love durian as well. Yeah, so this is what not to pack actually to during your flight or departure to the UK to study. And then when you arrive in the UK, what you expect? So in this section, I will inform about entering the UK, getting to your place to study, registering your stay, settling in, also about to travel in the UK. So of course, entering the UK, check about the latest travel advice. So actually, we also have information about the UK, and then also check about the news, for example, and then of course, the university will also inform you. So always check your email, for example, from university to have the latest information. So when you arrive at the airport, so there will be custom controls, right? So when you see green, so if you are traveling with no banned item or restricted goods, but if, for example, you're not sure, for example, if there are anything that you should declare, maybe you can go to the right one. Maybe you wanna declare something, for example. So in the passport control or in the custom, you should go to there. So, but if you are traveling with no ban, item, so you may go to the green, so you can go there. And then also getting to your place to study or work. Of course, when you go to the UK to study, get to know about what you need, for example, to keep your university informed, and then keep the contact details as well. Check if your institution offers a pickup service, like I mentioned before, yeah. There are several universities that offers a pickup service as well in the airport, so it will be very, very helpful for you to get into the university or your accommodation, for example. Living in the UK, it's exciting to live in the UK. So in this case, I'll tell you about entering the UK, getting your place to study, and then registering your stay, about accommodation, and settling in, and also the travel in the UK. So yeah, about the travel, actually, so there are several options by location as well, of course. For example, like buses, taxi service, rail networks is very well connected as well. So if you want to know about more information, we have detailed information in the Study UK British Council websites. So please go to the studyukbritishcouncil.org about the travel transport information there, because there are several types of information based on the location as well that you may know. And accommodation options, as I mentioned before, in the UK there are several accommodation. For example, like the university accommodation, and then there are private accommodation as well, and shared or maybe private. Yeah, there are several types. So if you want to know more about that, you can also contact university to help you to find accommodation as well. But in the Study UK, we have also a guidance to for you to look into the accommodation option. You may also check the Study UK British Council about moving or finding somewhere to live. Managing your finances, in this case, of course, when you arrive in the UK, it's important to also open a bank account, to have you to more suitable and also seamless transaction in terms of like buying things in the supermarkets or maybe buying things online and etc. So you may go to the bank account that you may choose. So there are information here from the UK CISA. So UK CISA has detailed information about the opening bank account, but in this case, don't bring a large cash amount with you. And also, card and contactless payment are very, very common in the UK. So don't worry if you are, for example, like me, don't like to bring much cash. So in the UK, it's really contactless and also good payment to have contactless payment. And also the living cost is actually depends on your location as well. There are several locations. There is, for example, there are big cities as well. There are several cities that is depends on the location that is considered in your living cost as well. That maybe your accommodation will be depends as well in the cities that you live. Yeah, and in terms of how much the cost of living in the UK is actually also varies. If you live, for example, in the big cities, for example, it will be much higher, but there are several cities as well that is cheaper as well. But this is just the range of in the UK, for example, from 900 pounds sterling until 1,400 a month, for example, to cover your rent, bills, entertainment, and other living costs. However, this is also depends on your lifestyle as well, right? So, for example, if you like to buy food every day outside, or maybe if you like to cook, it will be also save your money as well, if you like. So, yeah. And also the university will be able to advise you as well to more detailed local costs. It depends on the location as well, because there are variation of living costs in the UK based on your location. Student discount, this is really exciting, right? So in the UK, so there are a lot of opportunities for you to have a student discount. For example, if you like to go shopping, restaurants, or maybe to go to the museum as well. So there are a lot of student discount for you. For example, to have your student card and you can have a student discount, for example. So you can find out more about, for example, the card like in the Saltum.com, ISIC.org, for example, and then the rail card as well for students that is available to get the discounted number of costs of the rail card to the railcard.co.uk. So you may check if you're eligible to get that. Culture and leisure, of course, in the campus, there are many clubs and societies that you can join. In university, you have, the student union that you can choose anything based on your interest as well. Yeah, and also off campus, a lot of opportunities that you can explore. For example, arts and culture. So if you like, for example, like Harry Potter, any of you like Harry Potter? Yeah? Okay, Pamet, yeah. You love Harry Potter? Yeah, me too, actually. So you can explore. If you like, for example, like concert, for example, like music, and then cinema as well, and then sports. So you can explore UK off campus and on campus as well to not only just academically but also make the most of it in the UK. Food and drinks. So in the UK, there are a lot of type of food and drinks, including if you need halal food as well, it's also available in the UK. So there are a lot of supermarkets, for example, like the famous one, for example, at Tesco, Asda, Iceland, Lidl, and etc. that you may buy about your groceries. So you can also order online for local restaurant as well. For example, like Deliveroo, Just Eat, or Uber Eats as well. That is convenient if you like to order online for food. And studying in the UK, in this case, career support. So of course, if you study in the UK, you want to have good employability or maybe accelerate your career as well. So the support from the UK or the university as well is really important as well. So the career support where you study in the university, you have that is support about your career and also your job. For example, if you're looking for internship, for example, the university can also help. And then, for example, after your study in the UK, for example, if you want to consult about your CV and then creating the cover letter or cover letter for applying jobs, for example, universities also support that as well. Work placement, also there is support from the universities that can help you if you want to find internship or jobs when you study or after you study in the UK. So after your study, you may want to go into further study. For example, if you have joined now for your bachelor degree and you want to go further study as well, and then maybe if you want to return to Indonesia, back to our country, and then, for example, work elsewhere in the world, and then, or maybe stay and work in the UK. So in the UK has a graduate route that allows international students to actually apply about the graduate route and stay in the UK and looking for work in the UK after the graduation. So after you finish your study, you may, if you're interested about like explore or maybe learning more about the work experience in the UK, there are graduate route that you may apply. And of course, looking after yourself, in this case, I will cover about the help and advice, the NHS, and then your personal safety, and also abiding UK law. And help and advice, of course, there are many places to help to ask for help for you to in the UK. For example, student welfare service, student healthcare, and also tutor, lecturer, academic supervisor, international office, accommodation office, and also student union. So you can have information if you need any support from them. Do not hesitate to contact at the university about this place for you to ask for help. And also other places outside university, you may find Student Minds. This is a student mental health charity. So you may go to studentminds.org.uk and also UK CISA for the information about help and advice, and also samaritans.org as well. And in the UK, for Indonesian, we have Indonesian Association, yeah, PPI UK, that also can help you. And in this case, we have someone from PPI UK as well to share you more about that one. And NHS, so NHS is a national health service that provides you about the like insurance, yeah, treatment, healthcare for the international students that you can use, for example, for consultation to the general practitioner, and then if you have, for example, emergency service, and then for example, if you are diagnosed, for example, with some disease, for example, and then COVID-19 vaccination. So NHS is for the treatment, also healthcare for the international students. So you may eligible to get this one when you study in the UK. And other part of NHS are chargeable. For example, some medicine prescribed by doctor, eye test and eye care, dental care, and also vaccinations. And in this case, if you want to, for example, you can get NHS, you can register there with a local doctor known as a GP or general practitioner. And then if you want to know more about the details, there are several websites here based on the location as well where you study. For example, if you're staying in England, you may go to nhs.uk, Scotland, scot.nhs.uk, and also wales.nhs.uk if you study in Wales, and then hscni.net if you study in the Northern Ireland. For the personal safety, yeah, based on my experience, I didn't have any bad experience or like crime when I studied in UK. So UK is a very safe country with low levels of crime. University staff can also help you if you experience for example, you experience a bad experience or crime. And also the community police officer, of course, there are someone to help you or to call if you need help. In terms of the personal safety, in emergencies, you may call 999 from any cell phone. So you may save this number in your mobile phones. And then this is to police, fire, and ambulance services that can be contacted by calling the 999. And non-emergencies, if you want to seek for any advice, you can call 101. And then medical non-emergency, you may call the NHS in 111. So yeah, that's all from me. So this is we have in the Study UK. We also provide the Study UK guidebook. So if you want to get the details about study in UK, you may scan this barcode and then you may get the free download of Study UK guidebook. And then for more info, you can contact us in our social media, in our email as well. So contact us in our website, Study UK as well. So just scan this barcode to have contact us for more information about Study UK. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Miss Gita. It was very insightful for all of us, I think, yeah. And up next, something we all want to get right. And Ms. Gita has already mentioned it, about visa applications. To provide the latest updates from the UK Visas and Immigration team, now we're joined by Mr. Chris Bristow, Visa Outreach Officer at UKVI. So, have we connected to Mr. Chris?
Hi, yeah, I can hear you. Hopefully
Okay,
you can hear me.
that's nice. Please, Mr. Chris.
Okay, great. Thank you. Hello, everyone. Sorry that I'll be living up to the stereotype around UKVI that we're a faceless organization and not having my camera on, but technical issues mean that I can't or don't dare to turn it on and the whole stream might fall. So I'm going to talk to you about student visas. We'll just go through the application process, the documents and evidence that you might be required to provide during that. I'll try and give you some tips to try and make that process hopefully go a little more smoothly for you. We'll also talk about part of the UK's digital border transformation and how that may be a change for you if you've previously had a UK visa. And then we'll touch on what the previous speaker mentioned, the graduate visa, which although maybe a little way off is something to be aware of as well. So UKVI provides an effective regular immigration system for the UK. So we are here to issue visas to enable customers around the world to visit the UK, work in the UK, join family, or in your cases, study. So we do that through our 270 visa application centres that we have around the world. So there's 4 in Indonesia, and I'll speak about them a little more later on. We also offer priority visa services in nearly 190 countries. Again, I'll speak about them more a little later on, but just to say all of the priority visa services are available in Indonesia should you wish to use them. So you can see from this slide that over 400,000 sponsored student visas were granted to main applicants in the year ending March 2025. So it might not surprise you to know that over half of those went to students from China and India. So from the remaining 200,000 that went to the rest of the world, we issued a little over 3,000 to students from Indonesia. And we also issued a further around 450 to dependents of those students. That represented an increase of 3% on the previous year. And I suppose most prevalent and most interesting for you guys will be that they're issued at a 99% rate. So we're only sort of seeing 1% of applications from Indonesia being refused. And I would hazard a guess that a large number of those are probably withdrawn. They're not actually refused because it's so low. So if we're looking at who can apply for a UK student visa, you have to be 16 or over. You need to have an offer from an approved education institution. You'll be asked if you can speak, read, write, and understand English, and you will have to prove that. You need to have enough money to pay for your course and support yourself. Obviously, the course fees are what the course fees are, and UKVI mandates how much money you need to support yourself, whether you're living in London or you're living in the rest of the UK. Slightly more for if you're in London, but we'll touch on that in a bit. If you're under 18, so 16 or 17, you do need consent from your parents. We'll ask for a birth certificate as part of your application. So if you're under 18, we'll need a covering letter from your parents just to confirm their content for you to come and study in the UK. That's just to discharge our duty of care to you. So before you apply, you need to identify and apply for your course, which I'm sure most of you have already done. When you're applying for your course, you need to check if your education provider is a licensed student sponsor. Now, the reason for that, okay, I've just been told my slides are not moving. Okay, that's not very helpful. Linda, do you want to share the presentation for me? That might be easier. I'll stop sharing. Do you want to run it back to the start? Yeah, so next slide, please. Yeah, next one, we don't need this. So this was just to evidence the student statistics, so we can jump past this. Yeah, next slide, please, Linda. Yeah, next slide. Okay, so I think this is where we got up to. So the reason that we need your education provider to be a licensed student sponsor is because we need them to provide you with a confirmation of acceptance of study, which is what we refer to as a CAS number. This is what lets us know that you have a place on that course and it's given to you by an institution that is approved by us. So you'll need that before you apply because it'll be asked for as part of your application. There are lots of links on gov.uk and I've put some at the end of the presentation that you'll be able to look at, and that will hopefully help you prepare for your application. We would suggest that as soon as you have your CAS number, as soon as you have your offer, that you apply for your visa. You can do so 3 months in advance. And the sooner you do it, if there are any issues with it, the more time you obviously have to sort those out. You can move on to the next slide, please. So in terms of documents required, we're always going to ask you for a current passport or travel document because we need to be able to confirm you are who you say you are. We also need that CAS reference number, and I've explained why. Then from the other list of documents, some of those will apply to students from Indonesia, some won't. So for proof of finances, Indonesians benefit from what is called the differential evidence requirement. So that means at the point of application, you don't actually need to show us your proof of finances. It's important to note, though, that when an entry clearance officer is assessing your application, they may still decide to write out to you and ask to see those. So you should also always make sure you have that money available to you in case that happens. We will ask to see proof of your knowledge of English, and we'll go into how you can prove that in the following slide. Now, whether you need tuberculosis test results, that depends on your country And for Indonesian students, we do ask for a TB test result. So there's a link there in the presentation, which will be shared with you after, and that shows all the approved testing facilities in Indonesia. For the ATAS certificate, that's course dependent, not country dependent. So that will be if you're doing a course that has a sensitive technology component to it. So think along the lines of microbiology, AI, nuclear physics. It's going to be a STEM type subject, and the university should be able to advise you if you're going to need that. You don't need to have an offer from the university at that point. If you think you're going to do a course that will require that, you can do it in advance, and it's valid for 6 months. When you have a look at what documents you require, please do make sure you submit all those to UKVI. If you don't submit them all, the entry clearance officer is likely to write back to you and request them, and that's going to delay your application and hold it up. Next slide, please. Okay, so as I've said, your knowledge of English will be tested. The best thing that I think I can advise you to do is reach out to your higher education provider in advance. Ask them what they are going to require from you to prove your level of English, because that is what likely going to be accepted by UKBI as well. So speak to them, make sure you're not paying for 2 tests, or you're paying for something that they're not going to accept or UKBI won't accept. Most common way of proving your knowledge of English is to pass a secure English language test. And there's a number of approved providers in Indonesia, and they can be found by going online. The other way, which might apply to some of you, is if you've studied at GCSE level or higher in the UK, and you started that study before you're 18 and the study was in English, and if you can prove that, you won't need to take the test. We're happy to accept that as proof of your knowledge of English. Next slide, please. So funds. As I said, you don't need to do this at the point of application, but it is worth making sure that you have the money in your account in advance, just in case an entry clearance officer does write out to you and does ask to see it. So as well as needing money to pay for your course fees, we also need to see that you have enough money to support yourself while you're in the UK. So in London, we ask that you have £1,483 for each month of the course. And in general, that's going to be 9 months. The rest of the UK is slightly less expensive to live. So the money that we ask to see is slightly less. So that's going to be £1,136 for each month of the course. There's a few ways you can prove that you have enough money. So there can be cash in a savings account, and that can be in your name or a parent or guardian's name. You can show us proof of a student loan that would obviously meet that funding, or you can have a financial or government sponsorship or grant, and that can be from the Indonesian government, or it can be from the UK government, for example, Achieving Scholarship. The one thing we need to see is that the funds have been held by you for at least 28 consecutive days prior to submitting your application. And we ask for that just to make sure that we can be assured that you have access to that money. It isn't just being paid into your account on one day and then being paid out on the next day. Next slide, please. So in order to complete your application, you obviously go online to gov.uk, you'll start your application there, and then you'll be redirected to our commercial partners website. They're VFS Global, and they operate the visa application centres in Indonesia. So there's 4 of them. You've got 1 in Bali, 2 in Jakarta, and 1 in Surabaya. So the main VAC in Jakarta, not the Western Hotel one, that's free to use. You don't have to pay anything extra to go there. But for the other 3 visa application centres, it's important to note that they do command a fee if you want to use those. And depending on the centre, it's between £75 and £100. The Bali and Jakarta, the main Jakarta VAC, are open Monday to Friday, but the Jakarta VAC in the Western Hotel and in Surabaya, they're only open on a Tuesday and a Thursday. So when you complete your application, you'll be asked to make an appointment to attend the VAC. Those appointment times should represent the days they're open, but just to be aware of in case. Next slide, please. So obviously, when you submit your application, it takes us some time to look at it and make a decision. And the service that you select when you submit your application is going to have a bearing on how quickly we do that. So we offer a standard application that is included within your visa fee, and that is going to take up to 3 weeks. If you require a decision before that, for whatever reason, we do offer the priority visa service and the super priority visa service in Indonesia. So the priority visa service means that you should get a decision within 5 working days, and that will cost an extra £500 on top of the standard visa fee. If you need a decision even faster than that, then the super priority visa service should give you a decision by the end of the next working day. That will cost £1,000 on top of the standard visa fee. Now, it's important to know that none of these are guaranteed timelines. So if your application is not straightforward for whatever reason, if you haven't submitted the documents that you've been asked to submit, or the entry clearance officer has any questions or concerns and needs to write out to you, then those timelines are likely to slip. And again, that's why we would advise the earlier you apply, the better, because then if you do find you forgot to submit an application, or the entry clearance officer needs to ask a few extra questions, you will have that time to answer those or supply that information without it impacting your course start date. Next slide, please. So in terms of application tips, I mean, I've just said the first one really. Once you've got your CAS, apply for your course. As I said, you can do so 3 months in advance. You've seen that we've obviously received 400,000 student visa applications last year. We're likely to get the same. It's in a condensed period of time because obviously everyone is applying to start university in September or October. Alongside those, we'll be getting a lot of visit visa applications for people that might want to come to the UK for the small bit of summer that we do get. So the decision-making centres will be busy. So the sooner you apply, the sooner you'll hopefully get a decision. It won't get delayed with other people's applications. Again, include all the necessary documents, which I've already said a few times. I think the important thing to note with that is if your document is not in English, we won't translate that. The entry clearance officer will write out to you and ask for a translation. So if you're submitting anything that's not in English, submit it with a translation at the start, and that will avoid any delays with your application. If there's anything in your application that you think might cause an issue, so if you've got any gaps in your study, for example, you've had some employment, you might want to put a covering letter in there to explain that. Or if you think there's something in the application that you've put that you're concerned about, again, you could submit a covering letter and just explain the reasons behind whatever that is. As part of your application, we will ask you to disclose your full travel history and disclose any forms of criminality. It doesn't mean that if you have a minor offence or if you've had a visa refused, you're not going to get a UK visa. What we're asking here is for you to be honest so the entry clearance officer can make a proper decision on your application. It's a much bigger issue if you lie about something and it later comes to light, as opposed to just being honest about it and the entry clearance officer being able to make a decision as to whether that's going to be material to your application or not. So you can see there's a link at the bottom about e-visas. I'm not going to talk about it now because there's a few slides on e-visas in a moment. So we can go to the next slide now. Thank you. Yeah, next slide, please. So for those of you that have traveled to the UK or probably other countries, because most countries have this in place, you would usually, if you need a visa, apply for your, make your application. Once issued, you get a paper vignette in your passport or a sticker. And we are no longer going to issue those past the 15th of July this year. We're moving to what we're calling e-visas. So that will be, rather than a paper sticker in your passport, it will be an online record of your visa. So there will be nothing physical in your document. Everything will be online. Now, two important things to note with this. Although this slide says from the 15th of July, that is actually UK time midday on the 15th of July. So really for anyone applying in Indonesia, read that as from the 16th of July. If you apply from that date, you will not get a vignette, you will get an e-visa. That's only for main applicants though. So second important thing to note, if you're bringing dependents, be it partners or children, at the moment, they will still get a vignette in their passport. That won't be the case forevermore, but as it stands for this cohort of students going to the UK, your dependents will get a sticker in their passport. Next page, please. Okay, so if we look at the benefits, I suppose, of applying with e-visas, so the start of the application process is the same. You're going to go to gov.uk, you're going to start your application, be redirected to VFS's website to finish it and select an appointment to go and submit your biometrics, improve your identity. Now, at the moment when you've done that, you normally have to leave your passport there, you'll go away, you'll wait the 3 weeks till you get a decision, you'll go back, collect your passport with your vignette in it. The difference with e-visas is you'll submit your passport at the visa application centre, and then you will be able to take it home with you on the same day. So the visa application centre will still need to withhold your passport, but it will only be for 3 hours. After those 3 hours have passed, once they've done their checks, they'll let you have it back on the same day. And that includes if you're the last appointment of the day. So I'll let you work out which might be the best appointment to book if you don't want to hang around the visa application centre for 3 hours. The only thing to say with that is you don't have to take it home on the same day. So if it's not convenient for you to wait 3 hours to collect it, you can go back the next day or the following week. The visa application centre will look after your passport for 90 days. And I'm sure you'll all want it back before then to travel to the UK. So obviously, once you're given your passport back, you take it home with you. So that's useful. You can do any other travel you want to in that period of time. Once your visa application is granted, you'll get an email from UKVI and it will ask you to create a UKVI account. And that is how you're going to access your e-visa. You'll then be able to use that to travel to the UK. Next slide, please. So in order to access your e-visa, there's a few things you need to do. So you need to create your UKVI account, and that's done on gov.uk or via a specific app. You'll need to input some information when you do so. So that will be your personal details, your passport number, your visa application number. You'll then be asked to download the UKVI Immigration ID Check app. And that will ask you to take a scan of your passport and a picture of your face, just so we can confirm your identity again and that the visa that we're about to release is going to go to the right person. Once you've done that, assuming everything works, you'll be able to go back to your UKVI account and your e-visa will be there waiting for you. You can use that to travel. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. So in terms of traveling to the UK, depending on the length of your course is going to depend how soon you'll be able to travel. So if your course is 6 months or less, your visa should be valid the week before. And if your course is valid for more than 6 months, then your visa should be starting 1 month before that. And that's just to allow you to travel to the UK earlier, have some time to acclimatise, sort out anything out you need to before your course. Next slide, please. So when you're leaving Indonesia, you would obviously usually show your passport to the carrier and they would look and see that you've got a physical paper vignette in there, and that's how they can be assured that you're guaranteed entry to the UK. Obviously with e-visas, you're no longer going to have that. So what should happen is that the carrier, the airline that you're traveling with, will scan your passport and a message will pop up on their screen to tell them that you have an e-visa and that they can carry you to the UK. Now, obviously this is a new thing for UKVI. So what we're suggesting people do is download a share code, and you can do that on the UKVI app. Underneath your e-visa, there'll be a little green box and it says generate a share code. So you can generate the share code before you go, and that will allow the carrier to go onto the gov.uk website, enter the share code and see the e-visa that you have and the conditions that you have on it. So they'll see that it's a student visa, they'll see the validity dates, they'll be content that they can travel, allow you to proceed to the UK. So I would suggest for all of you going generate the share code before you go to the airport. It's valid for 90 days, so you don't need to leave it to the last minute. If there's any issues with the carrier seeing your permission to enter the UK, you'll have that there. You can show it to them. Similarly, when you enter the UK, Border Force would be used to seeing a vignette in your passport. But again, when they scan your passport, it will come up on their screen, and there should be no issues with this, but you'll have the share code if there is, and that will tell them that you've got permission to be in the UK. Next page, please. Okay, so graduate visa, I'll only lightly touch on this because it could be 3 or 4 years away for some of you. But if we can go to the next slide, please. So graduate visa at the moment gives you the opportunity to work in the UK for 2 years after the end of your studies if you've done a bachelor or a master's degree, or if you've done a PhD, you can stay and work for 3 years. There's no sponsorship required. You can do whatever role you want. Now, the eligibility is quite, it's slim for this. The issue rate is 99.4%, I think. All we need is for you to apply while you're in the UK, to have graduated from an approved university, and the education provider to have told us that you've successfully completed an eligible course. You'll pay and make the application in a very similar way. If we go to the next slide, we'll just quickly go through. Next slide, please. So again, as with the visa application process that you'll be going through now, you'll apply online at gov.uk. This time you'll be able to prove your identity using the UK Immigration ID Check app because you're applying from the UK, and you should already have that as part of creating your e-visa. Again, checks will be made by UKBI, but they're very standard checks, as I've just said on the previous slide. Once your application is granted, you're obviously then free to stay in the UK and seek work for the amount of time granted to you on that visa, which will depend on the level of study you have done. I'll say next slide, but I think that's the end of the presentation now. So I'm happy if anyone's got any questions that they would like to ask, if anything wasn't clear or there's something I didn't cover.
Give a round of applause for Miss Chris. Thank you for the valuable insight. Your journey to the UK is not just about personal, so it's also part of a bigger picture of Indonesia's global citizens. To give you a glimpse of how the government supports you while you're abroad, let's hear from our representatives from KBRI London. Joining us online, Ibu Indri Ardini Kesuma, Protocol and Consular Affairs KBRI London. Ibu Indri? Hello?
Thank you very much. Yeah,
Okay.
hello. I hope.
Okay. The stage is yours, Ibu. Silahkan.
Thank you very much. First of all, I'd like to say thank you for the invitation for KBRI London. I think it has been 3 consecutive years that we are invited. My name is Indri Kesuma. I'm the head of Protocol and Consular Affairs at the embassy, at least until the end of the month, because I'll be ending my tenure here at the embassy in London this end of the month. But my friends, my team here would support you in any ways when you're already here in the UK. Unlike the other presenters, probably I'm going to share my presentation in Bahasa Indonesia. Probably it will feel closer to home. Hari ini saya akan berbicara singkat aja terkait pre-departure briefing dari KBRI London sebelum teman-teman berangkat ke UK. Mungkin kita bisa langsung ke slide 3 saja. Terima kasih. Di sini saya akan menjelaskan peran dari KBRI berdasarkan Vienna Convention on Consular Relations. Kami di bagian protokol dan konsuler tentunya memiliki sebagaimana dimandatkan oleh pemerintah, memiliki tugas untuk melindungi kepentingan nasional dan juga warga negara Indonesia di luar negeri. Tentunya di sini kalau terkait layanan kekonsuleran, tugas kami menerbitkan paspor dan dokumen perjalanan, kemudian surat keterangan, dan layanan kenotariatan lainnya, serta pencatatan administrasi Dukcapil pendudukan sesuai hukum. Kemudian nanti di slide 4, di sini bisa terlihat wilayah kerja KBRI London, jadi kami tidak hanya di London. Meskipun posisi kami di London, tapi kami mencakup keseluruhan UK dan juga Irlandia. Jadi nanti teman-teman yang memang ada nanti misalnya kuliah di Scotland, di Wales, di manapun di atas, dan bahkan di Irlandia juga nanti koordinasinya akan bersama dengan kami. Kemudian di slide 5, saya rasa di sini sudah banyak sekali dipaparkan oleh narasumber yang sebelumnya. Mbak Gita sangat lengkap, Pak Kris juga sangat-sangat lengkap dari segi visa ya UKVI, karena banyak juga pertanyaan yang masuk ke kami terkait UKVI. Alhamdulillah sudah dijelaskan dengan lengkap oleh Pak Kris. Di sini kalau misalnya boleh kami sampaikan dalam tahap persiapan ini tentunya kami singkat saja ya, pelajari informasi dasar tentang Inggris dan Irlandia. Di sini pelajari budayanya, kebiasaannya, cuaca tadi sudah disebut sedikit sama Mbak Gita, dan juga hukum di sini. Terkait budaya mungkin yang kadang-kadang suka bikin kaget itu adalah harus diingat di sini budayanya sangat menjunjung budaya antri gitu ya. Jadi harus keep in line. Terus nanti kalau misalnya naik tube mungkin berdirinya di sebelah kanan, otherwise nanti disuruh minggir kalau misalnya kita berdiri di sebelah kiri, karena biasanya jalur yang kiri itu untuk orang-orang yang jalannya lebih cepat gitu. Saya rasa sih terkait ini banyak di sosial media juga ya, ada di Instagram, ada di TikTok, pasti ada ya ininya konten-konten terkait living in the UK. Terus yang kedua yang sangat penting juga, catat hak dan kewajiban sebagai mahasiswa di Inggris dan Irlandia. Yang ketiga, essential items, checklist, jangan lupa bawa obat-obatan pribadi, pakaian yang sesuai dengan musim di mana kalian datang, bawa alat tulis kalau perlu, dan lain-lain yang partikular bagi kalian yang mendukung studi kalian di sini. Untuk poin 4, sayangnya di sini Pak Atas Pendidikan kami, Profesor Agus tidak bisa join karena berhalangan, ada tugas lain. Tapi saya paham bahwa Admikbud itu punya panduan bagi mahasiswa Indonesia untuk tinggal di UK. Mungkin nanti bisa dimintakan juga ke kantor Pak Admikbud. Dan yang kelima, ini hati-hati modus-modus penipuan terkait sewa tempat tinggal gitu ya. Ada beberapa kasus di mana kami juga mendapatkan laporan sudah sampai di UK tiba-tiba private accommodation-nya scam gitu ya. Jadi kalau boleh saya saran juga engage dari sekarang dengan teman-teman PPI wilayah. Saya paham ada beberapa teman-teman PPI wilayah yang sangat proaktif yang membantu teman-teman mahasiswa untuk mengecekkan akomodasi. Jadi apakah ini legit apa enggak gitu. Jadi bisa dikonsultasikan dengan teman-teman PPI wilayah yang sangat-sangat membantu dan juga sangat erat kerjasamanya dengan KBRI London. Kemudian slide 6. Di sini ketika ketibaan terkait residence permit ini kita tidak lagi mengambil BRP ke tempat yang ditentukan. Tadi seperti sudah Chris sampaikan, bentuknya sekarang sudah e-visa, jadi betul download atau screen cap e-visanya sebelum keberangkatan. Jadi kita nggak mau nanti tiba-tiba di bandara pas mau check-in, oh internetnya kurang bagus, dan lain-lain. Jadi e-visanya tidak bisa ditunjukkan. Jadi sedapat mungkin di-download dulu atau di screen cap dulu si e-visanya ya. Kemudian ini juga penting, sangat penting pesan dari kami untuk registrasi, lapor diri ke portal Peduli WNI. Dan sekiranya nanti memerlukan layanan kekonsuleran dari KBRI London, misalnya nanti teman-teman mau perpanjang paspor dan lain-lainnya, itu bisa akses ke panel konsuler KBRI London. Nanti di akhir slide akan saya infokan ini ya, linknya ya. Terus satu berikutnya yang penting juga adalah begitu sampai di London, nanti jangan lupa daftar GP. Daftar General Practitioner. GP ini sebuah kunci dari perawatan kesehatan kalian selama di sini. Kalau misalnya kita mau ke rumah sakit, harus ada rujukan dulu dari GP. Kecuali kalau misalnya memang emergency ya. Tentunya ada ER juga di sini. Nah ini tadi sebelum berangkat ke UK, saya sarankan untuk engage dengan teman-teman PPI. Nah, begitu sudah tiba di UK, nah tinggal ketemuan ya sama teman-teman PPI-nya, jalin komunikasi dengan baik, dan biasanya di setiap daerah di UK itu, setiap wilayah itu ada organisasi masyarakat juga sesuai dengan minat masing-masing ya. Ada apa Kibar namanya, Kibar UK, ada organisasi masyarakat yang kedaerahan juga ada, kayak misalnya perkumpulan orang Bali, perkumpulan orang Batak. Nah itu ada juga. Kalau teman-teman memang tertarik, silahkan bisa engage dengan bapak-bapak, ibu-ibu organisasi masyarakat ini. Terus yang tak kalah pentingnya, catat juga nomor-nomor kedaruratan. Kepolisian, pemadam kebakaran, ambulance, mental health helpline, this is very important, dan juga emergency hotline KBRI London. Emergency hotline KBRI London yang kami pegang ini ada 2 dan selalu online 24 jam. Namun sekiranya memang yang terkait dengan kalian adalah hal-hal yang mengancam keselamatan jiwa, hal-hal yang emergency, tolong langsung kontaknya nomor emergency di UK ya. Jangan ke nomor KBRI London, karena kita bisa memberikan saran-saran yang urgent, emergency, tapi tentunya bukan yang mengancam keselamatan jiwa. Gitu. Terkait nomor kedaruratan ini, seperti kita ketahui juga, mungkin dari sosial media juga udah tahu ya, di London ini rawan copet juga. Jadi jangan don't take it for granted mentang-mentang kita sudah di negara yang di UK gitu ya. Tapi kita harus tetap waspada gitu dengan barang-barang kita, dengan tas, dompet, handphone juga, karena cukup banyak penjamretan handphone di tengah kota, terutama di daerah-daerah yang banyak turis dan pusat-pusat perbelanjaan. Kalau terkait kelengahan itu biasanya kalau orang Indonesia misalnya lagi belanja mau coba-coba baju, terus tasnya ditaruh di sebelahnya, terus tiba-tiba udah nggak ada. Nah itu juga harus please keep in mind, jaga barang-barangnya masing-masing meskipun sudah tinggal di UK nantinya. Ya. Kemudian terkait persiapan kepulangan nantinya slide 7. Pastikan kembali dokumen perjalanan paspor masih dalam dalam masih valid, terutama nanti kalian yang ingin melanjutkan atau mendaftarkan graduate visa. Slide 7, Bapak Ibu, punten, kalau boleh. Ya, terima kasih. Kemudian nanti teman-teman yang akan pulang membawa barang itu akan diwajibkan oleh jasa transport carrier barang, baik itu kargo udara maupun kargo laut, namanya surat keterangan pindah. Nah, surat keterangan pindah ini bisa didapatkan dari KBRI London, dari website KBRI London. Itu apa gunanya surat keterangan pindah ini dari KBRI London? Supaya barang-barang yang kalian bawa itu dianggap barang-barang pribadi yang bekas pakai, sehingga nanti tidak akan bermasalah di bea cukai nantinya. Kemudian pastikan jadwal kepulangan sesuai izin tinggal. Jangan melewati izin tinggal, jangan jadi overstay. karena pemerintah Inggris yang sekarang itu sangat-sangat ketat terkait kebijakan keimigrasiannya dan juga enforcement terkait overstayer ini, ya. Terus mungkin terakhir dari saya, Pak Dubes Desra selalu berpesan bahwa KBRI London adalah rumah kita bersama, rumah masyarakat Indonesia di London, di Inggris dan Irlandia. Jadi jangan sungkan-sungkan apabila ingin mengkontak kami, KBRI London. Dan yang kedua yang beliau selalu sampaikan adalah kalian semua akan jadi duta bangsa di Inggris dan di Inggris. Jadi jaga nama baik Indonesia dan jaga nama baik keluarga juga tentunya. Terakhir dari saya pribadi, please live a balanced life. Belajar dan juga harus ada have fun-nya juga ya. Tapi jangan semuanya harus dalam batasan yang normal gitu. Jika terasa overwhelming, saya paham pasti kalian datang sendiri kalau misalnya nggak sama keluarga, datang sendiri ke suatu negara yang asing banget, apalagi yang belum pernah ke luar negeri. Terus tugasnya banyak, mungkin akan terasa overwhelming, tapi pesan dari saya, kalian itu tidak sendiri di UK ini ya. Ada komunitas PPI, ada teman-teman PPI, ada teman-teman masyarakat Indonesia, ada kami di KBRI London juga, ada dari kampus juga pasti ada fasilitas kemahasiswaan, ataupun mungkin jika diperlukan professional mental health hotline juga pasti ada, itu dimanfaatkan dengan baik. Jadi jangan ditanggung semua bebannya sendiri. Gitu. Nah ini kalau boleh di screen cap ini kontak kami di KBRI London, dan sekiranya memang ada yang perlu dikonsultasikan dengan kami, silahkan ke alamat email itu. Ada emergency hotline juga. Dan dari saya semoga lancar persiapan keberangkatannya. Sampai jumpa di UK. Terima kasih.
Tepuk tangan untuk Ibu Indri dari KBRI London. Ibu terima kasih banyak untuk penjelasannya. Betul sekali, jadi teman-teman jangan khawatir mungkin nanti yang berangkat ke UK ada KBRI London ya kalau misalnya ada apapun terkait dengan pemerintahan Indonesia. Ataupun tadi misalnya tentang yang urgent-urgent mengganggu keselamatan jiwa itu juga sudah di save harusnya tadi nomornya oleh teman-teman. Don't worry pokoknya kalian tidak sendiri, oke? Next, moving on to something very important to your well-being, to represent student voices and share how they're creating a supportive environment for Indonesians in the UK. Please welcome Muhammad Fahmi from the PR team of PPI UK. Kepada Mas Fahmi, saya persilakan.
Good afternoon, everyone. How are you? Good. Okay. I hope you find like every day. So, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Shalom, Om Swastiastu, Namo Buddhaya, Salam Sejahtera, dan Salam Kebajikan. Actually, first of all, I would like to say a lot of thanks to the British Council, who has been giving us an opportunity to present you what is actually PPI UK. I said it PPI and not PPI, but PPI UK, or Perhimpunan Pelajar Indonesia in the United Kingdom. And this is my period for 2024 and 2025. On study, UK pre-departure briefing. And first of all, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Muhammad Fahmi Rex Al-Farisi, and you can call me Fahmi. And here I am as a representative of PR, Public Relation for PPI United Kingdom 2024 and 2025. And currently I'm pursuing my LLM at SOAS, University of London, or people call it School of Oriental and African Studies in England, of course. So without any further ado, actually in today's agenda, I would like to answer these four of questions. The first is, who are we? Who is the PPI, PPE United Kingdom. And then the second one is what we do, what kind of services we provide for Indonesian students in the United Kingdom. And then the third one is what is in it for me. And last one, what is the next? And what should you do after hearing our presentations? All right, PPI United Kingdom is an independent student society that runs with the official support from the Indonesian Embassy in the United Kingdom since 1974. And can anyone guess how old PPI UK is? I think around 51, yeah? 51 years old. And we runs in legacy, like every single year has their different structure of the PPI United Kingdom. And then also we have partnered with another PPI Wilayah, London, Edinburgh, Coventry or Warwick. There is many quiz there. Why Coventry or Warwick? Because Warwick is located in the Coventry itself. Manchester, Glasgow, Birmingham, Cambridge, Leeds, York, Newcastle, Reading, Sheffield, Wales, Exeter, Hull, Brighton, and Lancaster. Here you are. If you try to open our website, ppiuk.org, scroll down until you find logos on the left, and what happens? If you find your university or your official university or your official region that you will study there, yeah, I think it's very good. But for example, if you don't find, I mean like your region is not included into these logos, for example, yeah, just inform us because we will let you know that which region that are closer to this all of the logo. And this is the conclusion. Every Indonesian who are studying in the United Kingdom is a part of PPI United Kingdom. And together and stronger, we partnered with PPI Wilayah. PPI Wilayah like PPI Edinburgh, PPI York, Great Manchester, Sheffield, etc., etc. All right, so actually we have three. We divide into three our program. The first one is preparation before studying. The second one is during the studying in the United Kingdom, and then post-studying in the United Kingdom. The first one is WhatsApp community groups for you guys who are going to the United Kingdom in this year. Do not forget to join our WhatsApp group because you will be informed by several informations regarding how to get a few accommodation, etc., etc. And then the second one, mentoring beasiswa S2 ke Inggris. This is for those who need the scholarship. We will provide you like every day we will have mentoring by the expert and the student who are studying in United Kingdom. And then also what we do during the academic period, we have a lot of things. Of course, the first one, this is under designed by the Research and Academic Development. We have ISF, or Indonesian Scholars Forum. It's aimed to respond about the Indonesian problem. Actually, in every single day, we will face new problem and then new matters about Indonesia. And then we will try to respond to this kind of matter and then give what is the best solution for our problem. And we will practice what we get from our university. And then the second one, we have also PPI UK Olympics. It's focusing on sport competition and then also the art competition. And in the final day, we have an annual event, namely Gala Nusantara. And in last month, we gather all Indonesian from northern part and from the southern part, from the middle part in the Oxford University for Gala Nusantara. And then also, this is happening now and tomorrow, ISIC, Indonesian Scholars International Convention 2025. And this designed also by the Academic and Research Development. And then also, this is a very important one, PPI UK Wellness Hub. For you guys who are facing like mental health issues or as mentioned earlier by Bu Indria, if you have any problem, difficulties with your studying, do not hesitate to contact us on our social media, PPI UK Wellness Hub, because there's someone like an expert in the psychology will respond to you. And this is the cluster for ISF. There are 8 clusters. The first one is economic, finance, and business, STEM, infrastructure and built environment, education and higher education, public health and life science, energy, environment, and sustainability, law, politics, and public policy. And the last one is humanities, art, media, and communication studies. And what do we do after the graduations? And of course, designed by the Career Development Department, we have Career Talk series, and it's aimed to get an insight for UK student graduation, for getting a graduate visa routes, and so many other. And then also we have free SQL Academy. It's 6-week program, 1 session, 1 week. And of course, it's very welcome for you all. It doesn't matter what kind of majors, backgrounds, you can join our free SQL Academy. And then what is in it for me? For me, Pepe United Kingdom is not just about the organizations, but rather I'm navigating life while progressing multiple activities. I found spirituality, family, new family, academic, friendship. It doesn't matter what religion you have or what kind of skin color you have, but we are one, united in diversity. We are Indonesian who are currently studying in the United Kingdom, traveling together, and then also Pepe UK for me, how to work with the people who are also going through the similar one, yeah, with different way of doing things. Okay, so what is next? Right now, do not forget to join of our incoming UK student group. You just check on our social media, PPE_United Kingdom. And do not forget also to subscribe our YouTube channel. And starting now, ask for help to PPE Wilayah because each wilayah or each region has their own Instagram account. And for example, if you need for accommodation viewing, for example, don't hesitate to contact them and they will respond to you soon. And then the last one is spread the good news. Yeah, for if you find it like very beneficial, do not forget to share also to your friends. And once you arrive in the UK, as mentioned earlier by Bu Indri, please do lapor diri. For instance, if you are facing an emergency things, like me myself, I'm experiencing of become a victim of mugging, for example, for 3 times. And then if you have lapor diri, of course, it will be very helpful for you. And last one, do SKSD with your fellow Indonesian. Did you guys know what SKSD means? Yeah, so kenal so dekat. For example, in the public sphere, when you are looking for someone who wearing batik or someone speaking Indonesian, do not hesitate to ask them where they come from because it's part of connection and friendship. Because yeah, as we know together that Indonesian who are currently studying in United Kingdom is not come from one city or region in Indonesia, but also coming from all region, all cities around Indonesia. And then when you come to Bali, for example, you will find your friend there. And also, what is the main difference? You are know what is the difference of PPE United Kingdom and PPE Wilayah? Actually, our main difference only in the PPE United Kingdom is the main correspondence with the Indonesian embassy. And yeah, it depends on you. If you want to join PPE Wilayah, it's also good. If you want to more broader your friendship, your connections, you can join us, PPE United Kingdom. I think that's all for our presentation. Thank you very much for your kind attention and see you in the United Kingdom. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam, terima kasih banyak Mas Fahmi. Tuh, jadi teman-teman semakin jangan khawatir ya. Tadi KBRI London ada, PPI UK pun ada. So don't worry too much karena di sana banyak sekali orang Indonesia ya, apalagi mungkin di kota-kota besar tuh apalagi itu banyak banget ya sekarang orang Indonesia ya. Oke. Nah, teman-teman sebelum masuk ke sesi berikutnya, so welcome untuk yang baru datang juga. We would like to inform you our social media challenge. Nah, kita akan ingatkan lagi ya sebelum masuk ke sesi berikutnya. We're running a social media challenge. Nah, caranya Take a photo or video during this event, post it on your Instagram feed or stories, use hashtag StudyUK and StudyUK pre-departure briefing, tag ID British and StudyUK _ British Council. Pemenang pertama akan diumumkan sebelum break, nanti pemenang kedua akan diumumkan di akhir acara. Ini free untuk siapapun boleh ikut, dan kalau misalnya mau ambil foto-foto di sana, ada juga booth dari Study UK, terus ada gimmick-gimmicknya juga di sebelah kanan, itu boleh digunakan dan diposting juga. Alright, before we jump to the next session, oh betul, hadiahnya apa? Hadiahnya itu voucher belanja dari MAP. Hadiahnya, angkanya rahasia ya, nanti di-announce di akhir acara. Okay, before we jump to the next session, we also want to tell a gentle reminder about our feedback form. So we'll love to hear from you. Scan the QR code to send us your feedback over here. Boleh silahkan di-scan teman-teman, karena acara ini sudah berlangsung beberapa tahun dan hopefully akan terus dilaksanakan di tahun-tahun berikutnya. Also, untuk teman-teman yang tadi mungkin punya pertanyaan terkait dengan visa atau mungkin tadi ke KBRI dan PPI UK, bisa juga langsung menghubungi kami di sini, karena tadi kan nggak ada waktu Q&A ya. So contact us on our social media, Facebook British Council ID, Instagram ID British, ada Study UK juga. Untuk email bisa ke studyuk.indonesia@britishcouncil.org. Boleh langsung di-scan masing-masing social medianya juga dari sekarang, di-follow aja semuanya, karena pasti akan helpful untuk kehidupan teman-teman di UK selanjutnya juga. Okay. So, are you ready for the next session? Are you ready? Okay, everyone, I hope you've been enjoying the journey so far. The next session is one I personally look forward to the most, because no one can prepare you for the UK quite like those who've actually lived it. We'll hear real, practical, and honest reflections from UK alumni and from parents who've supported their children through this life-changing experience. And I'll be wearing a second hat as your moderator to guide a conversation with them. So, I'll introduce myself once again. My name is Tiara Hasna, and I'm also a UK alumna from the University of Sheffield. So, moderating this session feels very close to home for me. Before I invite our panelists, I'd love to share my little journey back then. Because just like many of you, I once sat through a pre-departure briefing, unsure of what was waiting for me. And yeah, I arrived in Sheffield in early September 2022, that's me. For a Manchester United fan, I feel you. But you know, it's still worth to visit the museum tour at the Old Trafford. And probably among the first in my cohort to land in the UK. It was exciting and also overwhelming, of course, and I had no idea like how to get from the Manchester airport to Sheffield, where to buy a duvet, or maybe even which supermarket was the cheapest. So I became the trial and error person for my Indonesian friends who arrived after me. The first week was, I think it was very surreal. One moment I was scrolling through my family's messages missing home, and the next day I was out chasing golden hour photos in the park, you know, trying to soak in the autumn air. But academically, surprisingly, my time in the UK was very transformative. I pursued my master's in global journalism and surrounded by classmates like from Greece, China, Nigeria. And this one, I also involved in PPI UK. I was in talent and skills division. So, yeah, basically organizing everything from sports tournament to Malam Glora Indonesia. It's Padesra, Padubes kita di London. And not only it was packed and intense to organize PPI UK, actually, but it also gave me friendship that are still strong to this day. It really is. We help each other survive uni, and now we're even supporting each other's careers back here in Indonesia. But yes, back to the topic. When I left for Sheffield 3 years ago, I packed 2.5 suitcases, as you see before, and one big question: what will it really be? And today, let's try to answer that question for all of you who are about to start that journey. Let me invite our wonderful panelists. Yeah, that's me again. Thank you so much. The first one, Miss Carissa Hermawan. Miss Carissa Hermawan is a public relation practitioner, the Cardiff University alumni. Silakan Mbak, boleh duduk di situ. With academic and professional experience in communication. The second guest, our wonderful speaker, is Gilang Rizky Pratama, an LPDP scholar and MSc graduate with distinction from the University of Manchester, now a senior associate at EY Consulting. Ya, selamat siang, Mas Gilang. And last but not least, we have the proud parents of 3 daughters who have each pursued studies in the UK. Ini sangat-sangat menarik sih menurutku. Please welcome Bapak Frans Kamarudin dan Ibu Sarah Dewi Gunarso. Ibu Bapak silahkan boleh langsung menempati tempat di depan ya. Kita mungkin jangan terlalu tegang ya, biar agak relax aja boleh. Oke, gimana selamat siang Mas Mbak, Bapak Ibu, sehat hari ini? Bagaimana kabarnya?
Sehat.
Alhamdulillah. Oke, teman-teman sebelum kita memulai session, I would like to explain a bit about each of them. Dari Mbak Carissa dulu ya. Mbak Carissa Hermawan is a public relation expert with academic and professional experience in communications. She obtained a BA in media communications and an MA. So wow. In international public relations and global communication management from Cardiff University. Her experience studying bachelor degree and master's degree in the UK will open up unique perspectives on global communication strategies, cultural understanding, and the value of an international education. Sorry nih, aku jadi nervous juga nih mau ngobrol sama Mbak Carissa. And the next one, Mas Gilang. Mas Gilang journey as an LPDP scholar and MSc graduate with distinction from the University of Manchester will showcase his exceptional dedication and adaptability. While excelling academically, he also balanced married life and played an active role in PPA UK, demonstrating strong leadership and time management skill. His experience reflects how studying in the UK empowers scholars to grow not only professionally, but also personally, preparing them to thrive in demanding global careers, like his current role as a senior consultant at EY. Benar semua ya Mas ya? Insya Allah benar ya. Oke, the last one ini ya mungkin yang ditunggu-tunggu oleh Bapak Ibu yang hadir di sini juga. Gimana nih anaknya kok tiga-tiganya bisa sekolah di UK gitu. Waduh. Oke, Bapak Ibu probably will spanning the daughters spanning different disciplines and universities, right, Ibu ya? Through their daughters' journey, from foundation courses all the way to PhD, they have gained a deep first-hand understanding of the UK education system and its impact on students' academic and personal growth. Their unique perspective as parents offer valuable insights, practical tips, and inspiring stories for other families considering the UK as a study destination. Together, they'll share what they wish they know before flying to the UK and what really helped them settle in. So, let's start with Mbak Carissa. And probably for each of you also, the first question is for all of you. Can you tell us, like, how's the preparation back then, before studying to the UK?
Hello? Okay. Hi everyone, thank you so much and thank you for the British Council for having me here. Salam kenal, aku Karisa. Mungkin untuk menjawab to answer your question about how was the preparation, it was actually quite overwhelming and quite scary to be honest, because I was quite young back then. I was like 17 years old when I first started preparing to study for my undergraduate degree in Cardiff in the UK. It really it really pushed me to like have to figure out everything for myself for the first time in my life, probably at that time. A lot of having to figure out things online, obviously, like trying to understand what it's like to live somewhere else from another country as well. So it really was a scary and overwhelming process, especially at a young age as well. But it was really all worth it in the end because the experience that I got from studying there is really something that I still hold like really close to me to this day. So yeah, I mean, it's okay to be nervous, okay to be overwhelmed and really scared as well. But yeah, that's how I felt. So it's okay if you feel that way right now.
Going back to you after Mas Gilang mungkin bisa dijelaskan Mas the preparation back then.
Yeah, I think it's quite similar, yeah, because I came to the UK in 2023. I'm not alone, so I came with my wife, but she was not my dependent. She was also studying in Imperial College London, and I was in Manchester. She was in London. To give you an idea, the distance between London and Manchester is like driving from here to Semarang. It's around 4-hour journey. So yeah, we were in a long distance marriage, and not only preparing for myself for studying, but I was looking for the flat for myself, and also for my wife. And then we had a lot of discussions. We had a lot of talk about how can we settling in. Before I was in Manchester and she was in London. So I think that's quite overwhelming, like Carissa said, because I was not preparing only for my side, but also for my wife. But it was a hell of a journey with my wife together because we were in a long distance. So yeah, it's quite lovely at the end.
Menarik ya, karena ini akan ada dua perspektif yang berbeda nih, baru dua. Yang selanjutnya Bapak Ibu silakan gimana nih melepas ketiga anaknya berarti udah berapa tahun ya? 10 tahun kayak gitu-gitu terus ya, melepas anaknya terus-terusan ke UK. How was it Bapak Ibu?
Ya, selamat siang semuanya. Jadi ceritanya begini. Ya, putri saya yang tertua itu majornya itu di finance di Singapura. Ya, setelah selesai dia interest culinary. Nah, akhirnya sesudah kita membandingkan antara London dan Paris, kita udah survei, udah lihat lokasi segala macam. Akhirnya dia milih London dan dia enjoy di situ. Nah, pada waktu lagi liburan, kita di situ dengan adik-adiknya, ada 2 twins kembar ke situ. Dan mereka senang sekali melihat situasinya segala macam, lingkungannya. Nah, ketika mulai yang pertama juga, ya mungkin udah cukup dewasa, kita udah lebih tenang. Tetapi ketika yang adiknya yang kedua dan ketiga, ya agak sedikit ya begitulah. Ya tapi kita udah tahu situasinya, ya udah nggak apa-apa. Dan kebetulan mereka memang yang kedua dan ketiga itu bukan di London, jadi foundation, undergraduate dan masternya satu di Leeds, satu di York. Dan sekarang dua-dua lagi mengambil PhD program, satu di Leeds University, satu di King College London. Ya,
Oke,
PhD.
itu tadi awalannya dulu ya. Nanti kita akan ngobrol bagaimana lebih detailnya di pertanyaan berikutnya. Oke, ya. So, Mbak Karissa, tadi kan sudah cerita gimana perasaan sebelumnya ya. But why did you choose the UK at first? And what was it like preparing as self-funded student, right? And what financially or emotional shift that you maybe feel at that time? Yeah.
Maybe to answer why I chose the UK, honestly, when I was thinking about where I wanted to do my undergraduate degree, I never imagined myself anywhere else other than the UK. I don't know why. Pokoknya dari awal aku kuliah, pokoknya aku pengen kuliahnya di UK. Aku nggak mikirin negara-negara lain, aku udah tahu aku pengennya di UK. Tapi di mananya di UK waktu itu belum tahu karena there's a lot of choices as well, right? It's not only London, there's also Wales, Scotland, dan tempat-tempat lainnya juga gitu. So yeah, I just always imagine myself going there, and that's what I always work towards, I think. And for did you ask about the financial and emotional like adjustments? For financial, I definitely like had to learn how to budget as well for my life and learning how to cook. Because I think in living in like, let's say Jakarta or Indonesia, we're so used to, getting food outside. Kita sering beli makan, bisa beli makan di warteg atau segala macam di restoran, di mall gitu ya. Iya betul, ada online delivery dan segala macam. But it really does add up when you're studying as a student there. So I really learned how to cook, how to think about okay, what am I gonna eat today? What I'm gonna eat tomorrow? What I'm gonna eat the day after that? So I think that's a really big adjustment that I had to make as well. As for emotionally, maybe when I first moved there, it felt pretty lonely, and maybe not a lot of people like to talk about that because everything it's a positive experience, but there are also times where, oh my god, I'm really alone, like in this new country where I don't know anyone. I was without my family as well, so it's definitely like a change in how you manage that as well. So I really had to push myself to, okay, I have to get out there, I have to make new friends, whether that's Indonesian people or like British people. I really had to like push myself out of my comfort zone when I was there so that I could like make the most out of my time when I was in the UK. So yeah, I think those were the two biggest adjustments that I would say were very significant when I was there. Yeah.
Okay, speaking about food, was there a British food you were scared to try but ended up loving because of, simply just, it's so lazy to cook today? Yeah.
Maybe not scared, but I just didn't expect to like mushy peas. So there's this thing where in the UK you can buy fish and chips. Obviously everyone knows fish and chips, right? But there are also other sides to it that we like as Indonesians don't normally get to know. So there's like curry sauce, there's mushy peas, there's other condiments. So that I really like, and also a sausage roll. Do people know Greg's? Like in the UK? Oh my God, I did not know that I would love that sausage roll so much. It was like a really comforting snack for me when I had to like go to the library, study, write essays and stuff. So yeah, mostly not really scared, but unexpected stuff that I was like, oh, okay, I actually quite like that,
It's pretty cheap as well, right?
Yes,
so
exactly.
Take a note, Greg's. Okay, next, Mas Gilang. You wear many hats during your study, right? Like as student, husband, scholar, and community leader. How did you manage that balance, and what mindset helped you succeed?
Okay. Sorry, what message? Okay, so to give you a context, I involved in around 3 and 4 organizations when I was in the UK, when I was studying in the University of Manchester, and I was also managing how to communicate very well with my wife. So I think when I came to the UK, I had this mindset. This is gonna be my year. This is probably my best experience ever in my life. So I won't take it for granted for that. So I set the clear priorities like academics still number one. Academics still number one, even though I can. Apart from studying, I can enjoy life by playing any kind of sports and enjoying any organizations like that. So academics is number one, and then followed by leadership experience through the organizations, and also communicating with my personal life with my wife. So that's the first one, and then second one, to get those done, I need to be mentally and physically well. So I need to make sure that to attend classes, to socializing with people, I need to be mentally and physically well. That's why I made to make sure that I was happy. So I play any kind of sports like basketball, tennis, and then I watch Manchester United match in Manchester, and I also travel back and forth Manchester to London. I was a pejuang PJKA, pulang Jumat kembali Ahad. So Friday night I went to London, and then in the Sunday night I went back to Manchester. So that's how I manage my time in the UK.
Bener gitu ya Mbak ya? Istrinya itu ada di bawah kita Dan? Oh bukan?
No,
Oh, itu
bukan.
Oh bukan itu ya?
Bukan.
Salah. Pengen konfirmasi padahal sama istrinya. Okay, but who adjusted faster to UK life? Your wife or Mas Gilang nih?
Of course me.
Of course
Of
you.
course me. Because, she was arriving in the UK in the morning in London, because I was going to Manchester and then she was in London, and then she texted me at night because her hotspot was only working at night. I don't know why, because the SIM card was not working, and then she was like a not tech savvy person, gaptek. And then she was quite busy settling in, unpacking. So it was me, because when I arrived in the UK, I got my house, and then I took a quick nap, only 1 hour, and then I went to campus. I met with my friends, and then I went to Old Trafford. And then the day after, I watched Manchester United live in Old Trafford. So that's the day after. I didn't have any
Wow.
sickness or jet lag.
That was the first week?
That's the first day.
What?
The second
Okay.
day I watched Manchester United. So
Okay.
I don't know why, because
Yeah.
of course me is to answer your question.
So everything is possible, guys. So yeah, okay. Wow, quite interesting. Ibu, Bapak, kalau dari pengalamannya sendiri, what preparations were most important at the start? Saat mengirimkan itu, tiga anaknya, kira-kira preparation apa sih sebenarnya yang paling dibutuhkan gitu?
Terutama yang terutama yang pasti mental ya, mental, emosional gitu. Jadi kita selalu bilang ke mereka jangan mudah menyerah, itu saja. Dan kalau ada problem, masalah, ya sudah bicarakan saja. Karena dengan tidak mudah menyerah, mereka pasti bisa menjalani itu. Ya, dan kemudian untuk preparation, kalau seperti life skill gitu, masak dan sebagainya, anak saya yang besar suka. Sedangkan yang dua ini nggak suka. Tapi sampai sana ternyata ya akhirnya terpaksa ya mereka bisa, dan sekarang bagus sekali malahan. Ya, sampai kalau ada acara atau ada mereka kumpul-kumpul dan sebagainya, mereka masaknya oke, beneran masak gitu ya. Yang sampai bagus banget gitu. Dan mereka bisa dari kebun, dari mana, mereka bisa jadikan fermented dan sebagainya. Jadi saya rasa dengan berjalannya waktu dan di sana mereka pasti juga akan terbiasa gitu.
Jadi jangan terlalu khawatir ya Bapak Ibu di sini,
Iya,
mungkin kan takutnya "Aduh,
betul.
nanti anak saya bisa nggak ya
Iya.
gitu.
Dan secara financial kita juga sudah memberi mereka budget, dan ya mereka diusahakan untuk bisa memanage sendiri begitu. Ya.
Dari Bapak ada tambahan? Itu dulu. Oke. Terima kasih Mas Mbak, Bapak Ibu. Kita akan lanjut ke sesuatu yang lebih menarik nih mungkin ya, pertanyaan-pertanyaannya. Buat Mbak Karissa, what caught you off guard socially or in the classroom? And how did your UK experience shape your confidence?
What caught me off guard? Okay, I think obviously culture is a very big thing. We're moving from Indonesia to the UK, which has a very different culture in terms of like how people socialize with each other, how people learn in the classroom and things like that. I think the biggest thing that caught me off guard is, I mean, disclaimer, I guess this is my experience. You may have a totally different experience than me, but for me, I think in Indonesia, we're very used to being very communal with each other. I think people make friends quite easily, right? When you meet someone you don't know, you talk to them for a little bit, sesama orang Indonesia, mungkin temanannya sangat mudah gitu ya. We're very open to getting to know other people. But I feel like my experience in the UK when I met people from the UK and other cultures, it's not as easy. Maybe because you don't have as many things in common, or I do feel like sometimes the culture there is a little bit more individualistic versus like us Indonesians who are used to living more communally. Like a small example would be like, let's say if I lived together with 4 other British girls and everyone had their own individual spices. Meanwhile, let's say kayak orang Indonesia mungkin kayak bisa sharing-sharing aja gitu kan. Tapi semua orang, when I live with my housemates at the time, everyone keeps to their own things gitu. Jadi itu mungkin kayak small example yang agak beda nih gitu. Tapi I think after some time I just understood like, okay, like this is how people live and interact with each other. It doesn't mean like it's a bad thing, it's just different gitu. So that's probably what caught me off guard. And the next question was,
how did your UK experience shape your confidence?
How did it shape my confidence? I think it definitely got me more used to interacting with people from different cultures. Because in the UK, obviously, you don't just meet British people. There's also people studying abroad from other countries, like European countries, other Asian countries. So being put in an environment where I was out of my comfort zone and I didn't know anyone, I really had to push myself to like, okay, how do I make new friends? How do I get to know more people? How do I get to experience things in the UK that will benefit me for the future, right? Whether that's like mentally or for my academics as well. So I think, definitely putting myself out there really helped me to become a more confident person, and being able to meet people from different places in the world really helped like widen my network as well. So that's how I feel like my experience in the UK allowed me to become more confident, because I was like alone there, and without you doing that over there, no one's gonna help you do it. So you're almost like forced to put yourself out there as well. So I think that really helped my confidence. Yeah.
Kalau kata Taylor Swift, you're on your own ya.
Betul, you're on your own kid.
Ya,
betul.
Betul sekali. Tapi ini nih yang mau ditanyain ke Mbak Karissa juga. What did you pack in your suitcase back then that turned out to be totally unnecessary?
Totally unnecessary. I honestly think I just packed way too many clothes. Like, I mean, packing essentials definitely important, but try not to overpack as well, because mungkin kayak ada anxiety-nya kayak takut lupa ini nih, takut lupa ini gitu. Padahal you're not going to the middle of nowhere. Like the UK is like a very modern country. It has everything that you need. You can buy any supplies there, any clothes, anything that you left behind. They'll probably have it. Maksudnya other than stuff like, mie instan atau obat-obatan yang sangat perlu, mungkin itu sangat penting ya untuk dipack. But other essentials, even if you forget it, don't worry. Like, you're gonna be able to find it there. So I just would say like, don't overpack like I did, because ribet juga kalau kebanyakan barang.
They have Primark, cheap. Okay, next Mr. Gilang. Mas Gilang, your routine must have been packed. What personal habit helped you stay grounded? And what would you say to students about building both academic and social life in the UK?
Okay, so to answer your first questions about the personal habit, I think it's I limit my time in social media. So even I set the screen time restrictions, and especially to the addicting social media like Instagram and X. So when I wasn't in a class, when I have a free time, I made sure that I place myself in a productive environment. be it in the library, be it in the co-working space, be it in the cafe, because it's always reminding me to keep productive. It's always reminding me to be proactive and also to keep active in doing things, even though I don't have any task to do. So I think that's the first one. The second question will be,
What would you say to the students about building both academic
I
and
see.
social life?
I think one thing to remember is to find the meaning of your study, and also to find what makes you genuinely happy. If you are, if you love traveling, I think apply visa, go out there, try to explore different parts of the world, like to UK, to Europe. If you are a very foodie person, so you can taste as many food as you can when you are in the UK. If you are into academic things, like you are into joining conferences, if you are happy to write journals, I think that's the best thing you can do. So I think it's you finding what makes you happy when you are in the UK, because that's gonna be your best version of yourself when you are in the UK. Because not being in Indonesia, you will have a very different culture, very different people with a different background. So that's finding your own meaning when you are in the UK.
Okay, and any memorable moment, maybe cooking or sharing Indonesian foods with your friends abroad?
I think don't ask me about cooking, because
Okay.
yeah, actually 90% of my food, my meals was coming from cooking in rather than eating out. But don't ask for fancy recipes, because I only cook fried rice, Indomie. Fried rice, Indomie, I think beef with ketchup.
Egg, ya mungkin.
Egg, spaghetti, even me and my wife, because we are not into cooking. So I think 90% of our meals come from cooking, but 90% of those only those fried rice, Indomie. So that's the thing about cooking. But we also we always cook Indonesian food. Yeah.
Oke, terima kasih banyak. Untuk Pak Frans dan Ibu Sarah, as parents, what were your biggest worries? And how did you manage them from afar? What kind of support did you create to stay connected? Silahkan Pak, Bu.
Yang pasti safety dan juga social life, social circle. Gitu. Ya, mereka kita tetap keep in touch dengan mereka, find out teman-teman mereka itu siapa, dan juga kami encourage mereka untuk join the positive activities. Jadi di sana untuk di organization di uni banyak sekali kegiatan-kegiatan, kemudian juga PPI, volunteering, di sana juga banyak organization untuk volunteering, untuk mengasah social mereka. Kemudian juga mereka juga bisa menjadi assistants untuk student masters and undergrad, and juga sports. Di sana juga di uni juga banyak ya klub-klub itu, mereka ada join diving club. Dan saya rasa dengan itu kita harapkan mereka mempunyai lingkungan yang baik.
Kalau dari Bapak nih Pak, gimana supportnya mungkin saat itu untuk ketiga anaknya?
Ya, sebenarnya sih backup ya. Sebenarnya kita cuma memberikan mereka semangat untuk berani menjalani. Ya, karena setelah kita beberapa kali ke situ dan kita lihat secara umum, ya, UK itu sangat-sangat aman, sangat-sangat safe sekali. Apalagi kota-kota kecilnya ya, wah itu orang British aslinya sangat-sangat helpful. Barangkali di London karena sudah kosmopolitan ya, agak kurang ya. Tapi kalau kota-kota kecilnya sangat-sangat menarik dan sangat baik. Jadi untuk safety kita tidak terlalu khawatir, ya. Tapi bagaimana mereka menjaga circle-nya, lingkungannya, itu yang selalu kita ingatkan seperti itu. Karena kadang-kadang kan ya nama social life ya, sekarang ya kita remind seperti itu aja.
Tapi rasanya seperti bapak ibu yang sekolah di sana juga apa gimana tuh? Kalau misalnya, kan mereka mungkin update ya, yes hari ini kayak gini ngapain. Rasanya tuh ikutan di sekolah di sana gitu ya kali bapak ibu ya?
Iya, ada sih yang seperti itu dan ada kadang-kadang hal-hal yang menurut saya ya itu mungkin tidak akan kita temui kalau misalkan kuliah atau belajar di Indonesia. Misalkan dia berani mendebat profesornya untuk sesuatu yang nggak benar, di situ sesuatu yang wajar kok. Nah, cuma kalau di sini kan rasanya kok gimana gitu loh, ya. Dia berani argumen, kenapa gua jawabannya begini, kenapa gua begini. Nah, di sini kita tuh agak susah. Nah, buat mandiri, independen, sangat-sangat bagus sekali menurut saya. Sangat-sangat bagus sekali. Ya.
Oke, terima kasih banyak Bapak Ibu. So, we're gonna have rapid fire fun for question ya. The last question for each of you. Alright, to close this part of the panel, let's do something fun in one sentence. Tell us, what's one thing you wish you knew before flying to the UK? Mbak Karissa.
One thing I wish I knew
yeah.
before flying to the UK is that I didn't know that it could rain so much in one country. Yes, and also coats that are hooded are more effective than having an umbrella. Yes.
Okay, take a note. Okay, Mas Gilang.
I think when I came to the UK, I wish I knew that Indomie, when we buy Indomie in the UK, it tasted differently. It was imported from Serbia or Africa. So I should have brought a lot of pack of Indomie from Indonesia to the UK instead of I bring a lot of clothes. So yeah, you will try it lah when you buy Indomie from Serbia.
Micinnya tuh beda gitu ya, beda banget. Okay.
Hambar.
Hambar. Ibu bapak silakan.
Ya, yang satu kejutan adalah anak saya mengatakan yang masih di UK ya, nggak usah khawatir makanan Indonesia, ada open PO.
Iya benar sekali.
Dan
Open
itu
PO di mana-mana ya.
Makanannya enak-enak katanya. Ya,
Karena
jadi
biasanya
nggak usah khawatir lah.
Ibu-ibu yang ikut suaminya gitu ya, sekolah di sana atau kerja di sana, mereka biasanya masak dan masakannya enak-enak banget. Betul. Kalau dari ibu mungkin ada? Udah cukup. Okay, now it's your turn. Kita akan buka sesi Q&A. Teman-teman ada yang punya pertanyaan untuk Mbak Karissa, Mas Gilang, Pak Frans atau Ibu Sarah, silahkan raise your hand. Any questions from on-site audience? Kalau nggak ada kita, oke, silahkan. Boleh dibantu? Ya, boleh sebutkan namanya, mungkin nanti mau kemana, bisa juga. Oh bukan, alumni. Oh enggak juga, oke.
Great, it is also great.
Oke, sure.
Selamat sore Mbak, Mas, Bapak, Ibu semuanya. Makasih banyak sebelumnya Mbak. Saya mau bertanya kayak, what are those considerations that you consider? Ini pertanyaan khusus untuk semuanya, untuk Mbak Kardif, Mas Gilang, dan untuk Bapak Ibu juga. Tapi kayak untuk Mbak sama Mas, kayak what are the considerations that you consider before you choose those universities that you got in? Untuk Bapak Ibu, apakah Bapak Ibu juga ikut terlibat in choosing those universities that your daughters are in right now? Gitu. Mungkin itu aja, terima kasih.
Thank you. Dengan Mbak siapa?
Oh, saya Keisha Grace.
Grace, oke.
Ya, terima kasih.
Terima kasih banyak pertanyaan Mbak Grace. Silahkan mau dijawab oleh siapa dulu? Mas Gilang kayaknya nih lebih siap. Oke.
Pertanyaan spesifik kenapa universitinya berarti ya. Pertama pasti dari study program ya. Gitu. Jadi aku kemarin di bidang supply chain management. Jadi out of sekian banyak universitas yang ada di UK, aku mencari apa university yang bisa mengoffer program yang sesuai dengan interestku. Kebetulan aku di bidang logistics dan aku cek supply chain management. Ada beberapa, ada di Manchester, ada di Bristol dan lain sebagainya. Dan Manchester itu offer program yang paling cocok denganku. Itu yang pertama. Kemudian yang kedua, yang pasti siapa saja renowned profesornya. Gitu, karena profesor dia menghasilkan banyak sekali publikasi yang itu juga sesuai dengan, pasti sesuai dengan interestku juga. Gitu. Jadi kurang lebih seperti itu. Dan yang terakhir pasti mencari university yang paling dekat dengan London gitu, karena supply chain nggak ada di London, kebetulan supply chain management nggak ada di London karena istriku di London, jadi kayaknya kira-kira mana nih yang paling dekat. Kayaknya Manchester masih, meskipun 300 km berbeda, tapi ya itu lumayan dekat lah dari London ke Manchester, kurang lebih gitu.
Mbak Karissa boleh?
Oke, mungkin kalau dari aku sebenarnya aku di awal itu aku udah tahu dulu aku mau study apa. Aku waktu itu interest dalam bidang media and communications. Jadi ya udah aku nyarinya university mana di UK yang expertnya di bidang tersebut gitu. So I didn't have like a dream university in the UK or anything, but how I went about it was that I searched the universities that are the best at the particular subject that I wanted to study gitu. And at the time, I think Cardiff University had quite a well-known department for media, journalism, and communications. So I think that's why I chose that particular city for me to study as well. There were other options kayak di kota-kota lain, tapi ultimately di researchku waktu itu Cardiff adalah salah satu tempat di mana departemen di subjek tersebut adalah yang paling oke gitu. So that's why I ended up choosing Cardiff. Another consideration for me was that I wanted to live in a city. Aku nggak terlalu suka tempat yang agak agak sepi gitu. Aku tetap pengen hidup di tempat yang di kota lah, di tengah kota gitu. Dan Cardiff adalah capital dari Wales kan. Jadi itu kenapa, mungkin bukan kayak kota gede kayak London atau Manchester, tapi masih capital city, masih kota lumayan besar gitu ya di Wales. Jadi oke, ya udah deh, aku pilih Cardiff gitu waktu itu.
Jadi subjeknya tetap poin utama, tapi
Betul.
sisanya nih kan ada faktor istri, faktor city girl, gitu kan ya. Itu harus dipertimbangkan juga. Bapak Ibu boleh bagaimana?
Oke, kami pasti juga berembuk dengan mereka dan cukup sulit untuk menentukan bahwa UK itu pilihan yang tepat. Karena untuk dua anak ini mereka mau jurusan berbeda ya, meskipun yang satu medicinal chemistry, yang satu biomedical science, tapi mereka ingin yang lebih spesifik nantinya untuk master dan PhD-nya. Jadi awal mula kita suggest Kanada, kemudian US dan sebagainya, tapi akhirnya di UK mereka menemukan jurusan-jurusan itu dan kita juga minta mereka untuk supaya tidak terlalu jauh kotanya. Jadi awalnya mereka di York, satu di Leeds, itu hanya 20 menit by train gitu. Dan kemudian juga kita lihat juga untuk prospek kedepannya bagaimana gitu. Internship dan sebagainya. Di UK itu baiknya saya tidak tahu ya untuk jurusan yang lain, tapi untuk jurusan mereka itu mereka bisa mendapatkan 1 tahun internship working in industry dalam satu company. Ya, setahu saya di tempat lain kadang-kadang hanya 3 bulan, 6 bulan berganti lagi company gitu. Dan itu banyak sekali experience dan mereka belajar banyak hal-hal baru di dalam experience itu ya, dalam working itu. Jadi pertimbangan seperti itu dan juga program-programnya anak saya yang satu memilih integrated master di mana dalam 4 tahun itu dia bisa menyelesaikan master dan sekaligus 1 tahun working experience di industri gitu. Jadi pertimbangan-pertimbangan itu kami selalu diskusikan ke mereka juga gitu.
Dari Bapak ada tambahan? Oke. Bagaimana, sudah jelas ya Mbak? Oke. Ada pertanyaan lagi? Oke, sebelah sana boleh dibantu Mas?
Hello everyone, my name is Harindra. I'm from Jakarta and I'm an overall for Health, Safety and Environment Management in University of Birmingham. My main question is, what is the biggest difference between UK education system and Indonesia education system? I mean, we stay in Indonesia and we are educated in Indonesia, and there must be something unique to the UK education, and how do you take an advantage of those differences? Thank you very much.
Good question. Silahkan dijawab. Boleh dari siapa dulu? Dari Bapak Ibu mungkin ya, karena kan secara pribadi mungkin bisa menceritakan juga perbandingannya.
Ya, jadi kalau boleh kita coba lihat begini. Saya S1 saya itu di teknik sipil di sini. S2-nya juga Magister Management di Universitas Indonesia. Dan begitu saya bandingkan dengan cara pembelajaran mereka di UK, totally different. Sangat-sangat beda. Jadi kita mengatakan bedanya apa? Susah mengatakannya, karena sudut pandangnya sudah berbeda. Sudut pandangnya berbeda. Bagaimanapun juga mereka itu dianggap orang yang bisa bertumbuh, berkembang dengan karakternya masing-masing. Jadi tidak istilahnya kalau kita bilang kacamata kuda. Jadi itu mereka diberikan kesempatan untuk melihat berbagai kemungkinan, possibility seperti itu. Nah kalau kita kan mendebat dosen aja tuh rasanya udah nggak nyaman. Kalau di situ sih sesuatu yang biasa. Dan kita bisa mengeksplor, mereka bisa mengeksplor banyak hal seperti itu. Ya, walaupun tetap ada 1-2 hal yang barangkali kita nggak cocok. Tetapi buat education menurut saya jauh Pak. Jauh. Dan terus terang, buku-bukunya, waduh. Saya kebetulan suka baca buku ya Pak ya. Itu kalau kita lihat ya di situ kita mau belajar ya. Bukunya di Cambridge, Oxford, terbitannya, waduh luar biasa banyaknya. Dan kita juga bisa melihat barangkali kalau kita ada waktu explore, museumnya yang bagus-bagus, semuanya free, banyakkan free. Ya, saya itu ke British Museum waktu mengantar anak saya, putri saya yang tua, ya. Yang pertama waktu itu 2 hari ngublek-ngublek di British Museum. Ngublek aja di situ. Dan itu free. Dan kita menemukan banyak hal yang kita nggak pernah tahu sebenarnya. Dan kita tahu salah satu koleksi British Museum yang paling tua adalah tentang Mesir. Dan itu boleh dikatakan paling lengkap di dunia. Nah itu banyak hal-hal seperti itu. Jadi kalau kita mau explore, kita mau menggali, ya menurut saya seperti itu. Dan sudut pandangnya memperkaya kita Pak. Ya, terima kasih.
Mungkin ya, boleh saya tambahkan juga, ini pengalaman mereka waktu placement working di industri selama 1 tahun itu, karena sebelumnya waktu SMA, waktu itu saya pernah masukkan dia untuk setelah lulus gitu, untuk mengisi waktu placement gitu ya. Nah kalau yang di sana kemarin mereka placement itu pada waktu year 3. Mereka placement di sana. Nah, beda sekali, bilang Mami ini beda sekali karena mereka tuh di sana benar-benar memberikan tanggung jawab, pekerjaan itu serius gitu. Jadi bukan hanya yang ya saya banyak dengar kalau di sini kadang-kadang mereka hanya kasih anak magang ya udah suruh fotokopi lah, suruh ngapain lah gitu ya, hal-hal seperti itu. Tapi kalau di sana enggak. Sampai satu anak saya yang medicinal chemistry itu dia tuh kerja di pusat innovation. Jadi mereka research dan juga untuk jadi ambil dari company-company gitu ya. Nah, company ini dia mendatangkan 1 mesin baru. Nah, anak saya itu disuruh belajar mesin baru itu. Ya, dia yang suruh belajar, dia yang sini sampai pada waktu dia mau selesai, dia harus ngajarin temannya yang lain atau supervisornya untuk mesin tersebut. Nah, maksud saya sampai oke, kalau di sini mana mungkin ya, maksudnya iya. Mereka akan memberikan tanggung jawab dan seperti itu, begitu.
Menarik sekali. Dari Mas Gilang ada cerita?
Ya mungkin sedikit menambahkan untuk Mas Harindra, memberikan konteks dulu. Saya dulu S1 Teknik Industri di Indonesia, kemudian S2 Supply Chain Management di UK. Menurut saya sangat-sangat berbeda gitu, approach yang digunakan oleh education di UK dan education di Indonesia. Kalau Indonesia kita datang ke kelas, dengerin dosen, 1 jam pertama, mungkin setelah itu ada studi kasus, lalu dikasih homework gitu. Jadi reading materialnya setelah kelas dan dosen itu posisinya sebagai teacher ya, sebagai educator gitu. Tapi kalau di UK itu sedikit berbeda. Jadi dosen kebanyakan dia sebagai fasilitator gitu. Jadi ada flip learning approach yang digunakan oleh UK. Jadi sebelum datang ke kelas kita diberikan banyak banget reading materials. Bahkan kita harus menyelesaikan kurang lebih 3 jam dulu untuk baca reading materialsnya. Ada paper, ada buku, ada studi kasus. Ketika datang ke kelas kita nggak langsung dengerin dosen gitu. Tapi kita diskusi dulu, kita dibagi kelompok, dosennya tanya jawab dengan kita, baru 1 jam terakhir dosennya yang bakal jelasin. Dosen yang mengklarifikasi apakah statement kita betul, statement kita salah, dan lain sebagainya. Jadi flip learning itu yang saya rasakan itu membuka banget bagaimana problem solving kita, critical thinking kita, dan membuat kita itu mendapatkan sense of independence juga terhadap kita. Karena di saya kemarin itu nggak ada absensi, gitu. Kita nggak ada absensi, kita harus datang ke kelas, ada presensi nggak ada. Tapi 90% orang itu datang ke kelas. Kenapa? Karena ketika nggak datang ke kelas, mereka punya perasaan, oh sayang banget nih, saya nggak datang ke kelas. Gitu. Padahal sebenarnya nggak ada presensi, gitu. Jadi logikanya orang kalau nggak ada presensi ya udah nggak usah datang. Tapi kita datang ke kelas karena sayang ilmunya nggak bisa kita dapatkan. Kurang lebih gitu, Mas. Semoga menjawab.
Dari Mbak Karissa?
Probably similar thing to what the others have said, but I do feel like your lecturers and the people that facilitate your education in the UK are very, very open to meeting with you, very open to discussing with you. Jadi kalau bener-bener mau ketemu, mau minta feedback di assignment, boleh nggak kita ngobrolin ini ide aku buat assignment ini, aku mau nulis tentang ini. They will happily spend their time to meet with you, to kayak discuss with you one-on-one juga gitu ya. Not even in a classroom setting, but meeting with them one-on-one and really getting their feedback is very easy, and they're very happy when students do that actually. So I think that's very valuable in your learning experience as well. And outside of the lecturers, di luar dosen dan segala macam, kampusnya sendiri itu juga sangat memiliki banyak fasilitas yang bisa dimaximize gitu ketika di sana. Nggak cuman hanya learning, tapi career center gitu. Misalnya aku dulu pengen banget apply internship, aku bolak-balik setiap minggu ke careers office di kampus buat minta mereka ngecek CV. Ngecek CV kayak ini CV-nya udah bagus belum ya, aku bisa improve apa. They also have those kind of facilities gitu that you can definitely maximize during your time there. Even the libraries, your library, I mean in my campus there was a library that was open 24 hours. Jadi kayak mau nugas sampai dari jam 7 pagi sampai besoknya juga bisa gitu. Banyak yang cari tempat duduk, mereka duduk lama di situ, mereka bawa snacks di situ buat belajar, buat menggunakan semua materi dan buat nugas gitu ya. So it's very much the facilities in the campus and the people who are there are very much there to support your learning to the max basically. So I think using those facilities itu sangat-sangat membantu juga dan akan sangat improve your experience ketika di situ sih gitu.
Thank you so much. Nah, kalau dari aku ada sedikit banget tambahan ya. Menurutku profesor di sana tuh justru ini yang sangat-sangat aku ingat, mereka justru nggak perfeksionis kayak di Indonesia. Kayak kan kalau di kita kayaknya takut banget ya nulis tugas akhir skripsi tuh kayak harus bener gitu ya gimana. Tapi kalau di sana tuh justru mereka sangat open dengan ya kalau ada flow itu normal. Ini research namanya kayak ya kalau misalnya memang belum sempurna gitu. Mungkin nanti akan ada yang menyempurnakannya lagi gitu. Jadi don't worry too much karena maksudnya ini kan bukan native language kita ya, pasti kayak nulis atau ngomong itu sesuatu yang agak challenging juga. Tapi orang-orang di sana, profesor di sana justru sangat helpful dan kayak mewajarkan lah untuk banyak hal kalau apa yang kita lakukan itu ya nggak harus sempurna kayak gitu. Oke, ada pertanyaan dari online jadinya? Oh tidak ada, oke. Terima kasih banyak sekali lagi untuk Pak Frans, Bu Sarah, Mas Gilang dan juga Mbak Karissa. Thank you all for the valuable insight and sharing not just for what to prepare but also how it really felt. As you prepare for your own UK story, remember it's not just about adjusting, it's about growing and you're not doing it alone. This community, mungkin yang baru ketemu di sini juga nanti akan pergi bareng sama kalian. Ya, dan kita juga semua dari British Council, tadi KBRI, teman PPI juga akan membantu teman-teman untuk menempuh studi di UK nanti. Sekali lagi tepuk tangan untuk para speakers kita. Oke, nah sekarang di belakang ada feedback form. Teman-teman bisa isi feedback form dari Study UK Pre-Departure Briefing ini supaya tahun depan mungkin ada yang bisa dipelajari lebih baik gitu ya, akan dilakukan lebih baik oleh teman-teman dari British Council. Dan untuk Bapak, Ibu, Mas, Mbak, terima kasih sekali lagi, boleh berdiri. You may go back to your seat, but before that, take photos together, okay? Thank you, you may go back to your seat. Sekali lagi tepuk tangan Bapak Ibu, teman-teman. Mungkin sebenarnya nggak cukup ya untuk ngobrol soal UK secara keseluruhan, tapi nanti kita punya break session dan juga ada sharing session juga setelahnya. Itu bisa digunakan oleh teman-teman untuk ngobrol langsung sama Mbak Karissa, Mas Gilang, Ibu Sarah dan Pak Frans juga. Selanjutnya kita juga mau mengingatkan kembali about the contact us. Kalau misalnya teman-teman punya pertanyaan related to the British Council, UKVI atau tadi dari KBRI, bisa langsung menghubungi social media di depan ini atau email juga bisa, studyuk.indonesia@britishcouncil.org. Nanti akan langsung dibalas oleh teman-teman dari British Council dan juga partner terkait ya. So, sebelum kita mengumumkan pemenang pertama dari Social Media Challenge, aku mau ingatkan kembali, we're running the Social Media Challenge, caranya gimana sih? Coba kita remind lagi teman-teman yang ada di sini. Caranya dengan posting foto dan video di acara ini. Tapi boleh outfit kalian boleh foto di booth di sebelah kanan kalian boleh. Speaker-speaker yang tadi diposting boleh juga. Tapi jangan lupa untuk gunakan hashtag StudyUK. Kemudian Study UK Pre-Departure Briefing. Juga tag ke ID British dan juga Study UK British Council. Oke, dapat pesan sponsor lagi kalau misalnya tadi ngisi feedback form. Di akhir acara kalian akan mendapatkan goodie bag dari teman-teman British Council. So, let's go back to the barcode for feedback form probably. Supaya teman-teman lebih semangat nih ya, dapat goodie bag ternyata lumayan loh. Iya, tapi harus stay sampai akhir. Nanti dikasih di akhir acara ya. Silahkan di-scan barcode untuk feedbacknya. Oke. Dari teman-teman British Council, apakah sudah ada pengumuman untuk pemenang pertama Instagram Story? Aduh, aku jadi deg-degan. Kayaknya postingannya keren-keren deh dari acara hari ini. Oke, drum roll. So, the first winner for our social media challenge goes to... ini bacanya apa ya? Yumnafifah. Wow, tepuk tangan dong. Apakah ada teman di sini? Oh, ada di sini. Boleh ke depan ya, Kak. Keren banget. Jadi dia video dari mulai berangkat tadi pagi ya. Oke, silahkan. Boleh dipakai. Namanya siapa?
My name is Yumna.
Oke, so Yumna, ini inspirasinya dari mana nih konten-konten kayak gini?
So I initially udah mau buat kayak konten gitu for like a separate kayak study organization gitu kan.
Oke.
So tapi mumpung ada kan door prize, so I just made it in the middle of tadi dengerin gitu sekalian, and then I posted it.
Actually for your like pre-departure content, right?
Yeah, it's for another content, but aku buat kayak a snippets gitu sebelum
cool.
the full version.
Ini akan berangkat kemana Mbak Yumna?
To London.
London, kampusnya apa tuh?
Imperial College London.
Tepuk tangan dong, keren banget. Ambil jurusan apa? What are you going to study?
I take geology.
Geology?
Yes.
Berat banget nih, ini nih yang akan menentukan nasib bangsa ke depannya. Oke, silahkan hadiahnya. Oh, boleh langsung diambil aja ke sana. Terima kasih. Congratulations once again. Tepuk tangan untuk Mbak Yumna. Good luck on your study as well, okay? Okay. Ya, ini tadi salah satu pemenangnya. Ayo ikutan juga teman-teman karena ada satu hadiah lagi berupa voucher shopping. Nanti akan diumumkan di akhir acara. Oke. Kita akan ada break teman-teman di sini sampai jam 4.15. Kurang lebih berapa menit ya berarti? Sorry dari sekarang. Kurang lebih 30 menit dari sekarang ya. We're gonna have another session. Ya, kita akan ngobrol lebih detail mengenai 4 nation yang dipunyai oleh UK. Ada yang tahu apa aja? Tadi sudah di-mention sama Mbak Gita tuh. England, Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland. Nah, nanti kita akan bagi kelompok dan juga sharing lebih dalam dengan masing-masing mentor di setiap kelompoknya. Jadi teman-teman bisa langsung bertanya dan juga chit-chat setelah break itu, session berikutnya. Oke? Jangan lupa keep posting, keep updating about this fun event. Kita juga bakal dadah-dadah sama teman-teman yang di YouTube Indonesia Mengglobal karena the next session tidak akan di live stream khusus untuk teman-teman yang datang ke Ganara Art Space. Oke, jadi kita akan kembali lagi 30 menit kemudian. Feel free to enjoy the cupcakes. Ada cupcakes berbentuk UK flag over there and you can absolutely chit-chat with other participants here, boleh juga ngobrol sama Bapak, Ibu, dan speakers tadi. Oke, see you at 4:50. Bye-bye.
My name is Edwin Solomon Mincha Idous.
Miriam. So Fabia. This is Elsa and Manfila.
This is Nisha Benzonkar.
This is Matimal Sinha.
UK, like it ticked all the boxes.
The kind of progressive learning style.
UK is giving me the course and the tools they are like to be successful in my home country.
Every other culture that I have met has been exceptionally great and welcoming, and slowly it has started to feel like home.
The diversity.
You get the opportunity to meet the people and sharing your experiences.
I really have to give it up for my university. Like they've been so kind and so supportive.
We were all allocated a personal tutor.
The lecturers are very supportive and are always open to address students' needs.
Mentally and emotionally, we have enough support programs on campus.
It's very safe to study here and to live here.
Research.
Research.
Research. Made up our mind find the right university, the city you like, and apply to any school in the UK.
They shouldn't think too